Hi, and welcome to Speakers on Edge. We're doing 15 minutes of fame where we have voices of vision sharing messages that matter. Now, my voice of vision is the lovely Louise. Louise, who are you?
Thank you for having me. So I wasn't brave every day. And the reason I say that is because there's a story behind it. I'm founder of Brave Everyday CIC, which is a community interest company. And it was born from the fact that there's lots of things that have happened to me in my life and lots of things that I've done, and I've done them scared. My tagline is courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action despite it. And it's basically to show that people that it's never as bad as you think. You're stronger and more resilient than you ever think you can be. And if you push through, things can always get better. So, yeah, as I said, I've done a lot scared, and I think I'm proof in the pudding that things can get better. And if you really want to do something, then you should do it, and don't let fear take over.
So let's go back in time, shall we? What was something that scared you?
Well, going back to sort of the start would have been I was picked on at school for about 6 years, and every day going to school I was scared because I was worried about what was going to happen next, what was going to happen the next day, and I think that's just one example of things that you still have to do regardless of how you feel inside.
How did you cope with it?
Well, I did cope with it, I suppose, to an extent, but I think I didn't tell anybody, which was a really silly thing to do. And I just sort of kept it all inside. I was fine on the weekends, and then as soon as Sunday night came, it was sort of fear again. But I think it's certainly made me a lot stronger now than what I probably would have been before had I not have gone through those struggles at a younger age.
So here you are, you're at that younger age, you're moving through being bullied. What was next?
After the bullying?
Yeah, share your story. See, the whole point of the show is we want people to share their stories so that we understand the reasons behind where they are today. Because otherwise it just becomes like an ad for a company or a business, and we don't want that. We want to hear your heart. We want to hear your journey. We want to know who you are.
Okay. So
let us look through the window into your life.
Okay, understood. So yeah, so I after I left school, I actually got a really good job with British Airways with the executive club, and that really shot me to the moon. I built confidence massively in that area of my life. Between the ages of 18 to 24, I really did progress. And I think there was lots of things that were happening that were great in my life, but I also think there was probably some things that had sort of been buried with regards to low confidence, low self-esteem, all of that kind of stuff. Personally, professionally, I was absolutely evolving, but I think personally it was a bit of a different story. So that was something I had to sort of look into later on in life. But yeah, I mean, I've done lots of different things in my life. I went to Australia on my own and was going to go traveling. I lived there for a year. I was actually in hospital and really, really poorly on life support at the age of 29. Not sure if I was going to make it. Now, that was a scary thing. It's too long to go into for this. But
how about a little bit of just a short version of that, because we've had quite a few people on the show so far who have had very serious experiences like this.
Yeah. So I had multiple organ failure, and then we don't know exactly where it came, how it all sort of started. But yeah, I wasn't very well, and I ended up on life support. I don't remember much from it. However, I do remember some really scary dreams, which apparently happens when you're on life support. But my family obviously told me sort of what was going on whilst I was there. But I ended up teaching myself to walk and breathe again. I was on breathing machines. I was on a Zimmer frame at 29, trying to get my strength back. And I think the doctors gave me about a year to go, to have off to go before I started back at work. I think I was back at work within about 3 months, and I just didn't stop then. It was almost like I had a new lease of life. But I think to start with, I was scared. I'd gone from a social butterfly to someone that was, had gone through so much, and I wasn't a social butterfly anymore. I was a scaredy cat. I was scared to do anything, but I still pushed through. And I think if I hadn't have done it when I did sooner than what the doctors recommended, I probably wouldn't be doing all of the things that I'm doing now, because I think you have to really strike while the iron's hot, because otherwise you can end up getting into that habit of staying at home, not doing anything. And yeah, I think I definitely made the best decision by going for it as soon as I possibly could.
That would have put its toll on your body, mind, and spirit, I would imagine, after 3 months, having being with organ failure. We're talking almost end of life here.
Well, it was potentially that was the way it was going.
Yeah, and then 3 months later, that's it. Goodbye, Zimmer frame. I'm
back.
I'm back, and look out, world. But I'm also scared. How did you handle coming back and living life again and having the triggers?
I think when you're in a situation like that, there's no manual with life, right? There is no manual with life, and you deal with the cards that you're dealt with, and you deal with the situations that are in front of you to the best of your ability. And I think, I don't know, being so young as well at the time, and all of that happening, and just realizing how serious it was, I think there is really only one way to go. Like, you just have to grab life by the balls, for want of a better phrase, and and just go for it, because before you know it, you can just not be here. And then, I want to go. I want to do so many things. There's so many things that I want to do, including helping as many people as I possibly can. And I truly believe there's certain things that happen in life that are meant to happen for specific reasons. And I think for me, going through that was to make me who I am today, and to help me help other people.
This is magnificent. That, it's not the fact that what's not magnificent is, okay, you had organ failure. But what's magnificent is that you've taken that experience in your life. And yeah, it was difficult, and you've moved through it. And today you're building on that. So were there some techniques that you used to help yourself get to this brave everyday moment that you're in?
Techniques, I'm not sure. I think certain tools. I've done a hell of a lot of personal development. I listen to podcasts. I listen to self-help audiobooks. I'm motivating myself and inspiring myself all the time with lots of different things that I do. I'm listening to a podcast in the car, on a dog walk, in the bath, doing the dinner, cooking, doing the washing up. I'm constantly, there's always something more that I want to do. And I'm the kind of person that just always feels that it's not that I need purpose as such, but I'm always looking for the next thing. What else can I do to progress myself? What else can I do to help other people? What else can I do to make a better life for me and my family? My son is my why. He's 11. He's the best, I say little boy, he's 5 foot now and size 8 feet, so he's not little anymore, but he is everything I could have ever imagined in a child. And I know everybody says that about their children, because we're all biased, but he is such a kind soul, and that's something his school reports say every single year, and I think that's something that can't be taught either. But I'm very aware that he's watching me, and he's watching how I handle things. He's watching, how I deal with different things that happen in life, and I'm trying to teach him a lot of stuff that schools don't teach as well. And I want to be the best role model for him, because I know that he is. He spends most of his time with me when he's not at school. So, how I am and how I act and what I do to push through and to make life better and to deal with certain hurdles in life I'm hoping will set him up to be, to have the best life too.
Well, here we are. We've got somebody here who is not just walking the talk and talking the talk. You're living the talk. And there are a lot of people out there who talk the talk and who walk the talk, but actually living the talk. Because what you're saying is, and you've got this beautiful example of your son who is now, he's growing into this beautifully kind, intelligent, wonderful all-around person. It's something to be incredibly proud of as a parent.
Oh, I'm so proud of him. Yeah, I call him my sunshine, SONSHINE, because he's my joy. We dance around the kitchen like lunatics every morning to set the tone for the day.
No. You dance around the kitchen every day like a happy family.
Yeah. No, we are, but we are a bit nuts. Me and my son, we like to dance randomly.
But that's part of the joy of life. Now, here you are. You've gone on this incredible journey of self-discovery. You're taking yourself through it. You're living it. You're educating your son with it as well. How are you helping other people? Tell us about the Brave Everyday business model. How does it work?
Thank you. So it's got two sides to it. One is the Brave Everyday podcast, where I invite guests to come on and talk about their stories, in the hope that it will help and encourage other people to see that we can all go through struggles, or we all do go through struggles, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. And not only do my guests talk about what they've struggled with, but they also talk about where they are now in life. One of my guests, Sadie, she had a very traumatic upbringing as a child, and she's now got the most amazing booming business, and she's such a wonderful mum herself. And it just shows it shows you that it can be done, and that people can get through. And when you feel like there's no hope, and on your darkest days, that there always is. So that's that side of it. And my other side is to speaking engagements, so going into different conferences, events, workshops, universities, colleges, that kind of thing, and just talking about Brave Every Day and motivating people and sharing, my stories, but also snippets from other people's that have been on my podcast. So it's just about helping people and showing people that we can get through and providing hope.
And how do people get involved with you? Do you do consultations where people can actually talk to you about what they're doing? Do you give any counselling or therapy work with them? No. Or you're not into that side of the helping?
I'm not a counsellor. I don't have any qualifications in that respect. It's just real people, real stories, and we obviously have a two-way conversation. So if somebody wants to come onto my podcast, then they can contact me via the website, and then we would have an initial chat first. And I also have a form that people can fill in to sort of explain how it works, but also for them to give snippets. I also help advertise their businesses. If they're a business owner, then I'll always do an intro, tag all their socials and all of that kind of thing to sort of help in that way as well. But yeah, it's real people, real stories, and just talking to share their journeys, and in the hope that it will help other people. Because I think a lot of people suffer in silence, and a lot of people think that it's only them going through certain things, when it's absolutely not. And I think people will listen to my guests and think, oh, wow, I'm going through that, or I went through that. Look how they've managed to get through it. I can do that too.
We've had these sorts of people on the show, on 15 Minutes of Fame, where people have been sharing their stories. And I look back and we're on about, I think this is about episode 50 or 51, something like that. I've lost count. And the thing that when we're giving people the opportunity to be on the shows like this and giving people the voice and having the opportunity for them to speak and share their story, it raises the attention and the consciousness of everybody who listens and watches. Because the whole point of it is, by understanding you're being seen, you're being heard,
Yeah.
You're not alone.
And that's it.
And
Everybody's got a voice.
And everybody has a voice. And this is why our tagline is Voices of Vision, sharing messages that matter. And your message is that everybody has a voice. Everybody, what you say matters. And what you've done is you've created through Brave Every Day another platform for people who they feel like they want to participate and they want to share their story. And it's part of that is actually helping the healing process.
Yeah.
Is actually enabling people to speak out.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think people sharing their stories and joining the podcast to share their stories as well. I think once you go through, like Sadie, for example, spoke about everything that she's been through in life, and then towards the end of the conversation, it was all about her amazing business and how amazing she is as a mum. And it's like, wow. And I think, it's a pinch me moment, isn't it?
It is. And I love this. So where can people find you?
So my website is braveeveryday.podcast.co.uk. And I'm on Instagram. It's at Brave Everyday podcast as well. And I've also got a community on Facebook, which is called Brave Everyday Community.
Wonderful. And we will also have you on our Speakers on Edge Hall of Fame guest page with a button linking to your website as well. It's at speakersonedge.com.
Thank you.
That's it. That's our Voice of Vision, sharing a message that matters. You have a voice, folks. Don't keep it quiet. It's okay to open it. There's a lot of people out there who care.
100%.
Thanks, Louise, for being on the show. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next time on Speakers on Edge.